As you're out here trying to figure out why you're not in a relationship, some of the reason has to do with the fact that you don't know who you are. I know that's a harsh pill to swallow, but a lot of people believe that they're not in a relationship because of somebody else's doing or the things that the other person is not doing. Sis, a lot of times it has to do with the person in the mirror. That is you looking at yourself. And so today I want to talk to you about why it is so very essential for you to get started on understanding who you are. That is getting to know yourself. The first reason why you need to know who you are is because knowing your own self-worth allows you to understand that you are a complete woman with in or without a relationship, meaning with a partner or without a partner. You are a whole, complete person. Knowing this gives you the confidence and self-esteem that is needed in order to be able to stand on your own 2 feet. And when people come to you with questions, family and friends that mean well, but when they come to you with questions, you're able to answer them with the confidence and you don't feel like you have to cower or even run away from the questions that they have. This is what knowing yourself is going to do and why it's so essential for you to get started with understanding who you are and why you are who you are today. The second reason why getting started on knowing yourself is so very essential is because when you know and understand the value that you bring to the table, you exude this value. You exude this confidence to those around you in your circle as well as those outside of your circle. And when a man comes into your presence, he can already see that you love you without him having to verbalize, oh, she loves herself. It is something about you understanding your value, you understanding your worth, and being able to stand on your own, articulate the things that you want, not stand for the things that somebody is just giving to you and you're supposed to accept. Absolutely not. You know what you are worth. You know the value that you bring to the table. And you also understand that when you value you, others will absolutely see the value in you and not only respect you, they also respect and honor your time. The third reason why you need to start working on yourself is because once you start working on yourself, now you know what your preferences are. A lot of people don't know what their preferences are. I remember when I was out there in the dating stages and when somebody would ask me, what is it that you want? What is it that you like? What is it that you want out of life? I hardly was able to give an answer to that until had the opportunity, or at least made myself sit down, get quiet, and start getting some of these things out of my mind. Like really answering those tough questions. What is it that I want out of life? What kind of relationship do I want to be in? Do I want to be married? If I get married, do I want to have children? Is it okay for me to have children beforehand? Am I going to feel like a failure if I never get into a relationship? Am I going to feel like a failure if I never get married? Am I going to feel like a failure if I never have children? Like really answering those deeper questions instead of allowing things to just sit on the surface level, not really going deep into understanding who you are. Because another thing that happens is a lot of people get furious or angry when they feel like their partner doesn't understand or know them. But here's the thing, if you don't understand and know yourself, how can you expect and even demand that somebody else knows you, loves you, and all of the other things that come with it? Yes, they absolutely should be respecting you and honoring you and all of these other things. But really, when those relationships and marriages that last the test of time, they feel heard, understood, and seen by their partners. And if you can't feel like you know yourself enough to be heard and understood and seen by yourself, there's no way that somebody else is going to be able to come in and make you feel heard, understood, and seen by them. It is just not going to happen. There is a disconnect there. And so in order for there to be a deeper connection between you and somebody else, you have to first have a deeper connection with yourself. You have to learn to sit in silence. You have to learn to journal and get these things out, or talk to a coach, talk to a therapist, talk to a counselor, talk to a trusted friend, somebody that can give you some solid advice that's actually been there and experienced some things in their life. And they're not going to allow you to just get away with the thing or say this thing or even do this thing just because you have been friends for years. Hey sis, I know that I'm interrupting, but please forgive me. I just know that sometimes it can be really hard to figure out where to start your healing journey. And I created a book, which is actually a journal. It is called You Can Get Over Your Ex, the Woman's Healing Journal to Get Over Him for Good and Mean It. This journal was really created with you in mind because I want you to rediscover who you actually are, figure out why your previous relationship or relationships actually failed, why you keep being on the hamster wheel, and why it is so important to answer that important question of Why do I need to heal my inner child? Literally, this journal right here is going to cut to the heart and get to the root cause as to why you have become the woman that you are, focusing on not putting the blame on anybody else, just understanding why you are you, and also giving you the confidence and self-esteem so you don't have to repeat the stuff over and over again. So pick up your copy of You Can't Get Over Your. They know the beauty of who you are, but they also can point out your flaws, and you're able to receive what they're saying because you know that this person has the best interest at heart for you, and they want you to win in all areas of your life, including but not limited to your love life. But you also have to want that. A lot of times our friends and family can see things in us and on us and even believe in us before we believe in ourselves. And so my question is to you is, do you believe in you enough to start working on yourself? Do you believe in you enough to actually start the process of getting to know who you are? Understanding why it is so very essential for you to journal, for you to sit in silence, for you to stop the scroll, for you to really just take a deeper dive into you. How many courses have you taken this year? How many books have you read this year? How many podcasts have you listened to this year? Like when you think about why your life is still going down the same road that it's been going down, think about what you're putting into it. And if you look at your life and you say, I haven't really been putting anything into learning who I am and why I am who I am, now is the time to start, because 2024 is right around the corner. 2024 is right around the corner. And so who do you want to be in 2024? How do you want to show up in 2024? How are you going to make 2024 better than any other year previous? How are you going to do those things and really stay committed to doing those things? Is it time for you to pay to work with somebody in order to help them to get to the next level? This is something that people don't think about, but every successful person out there has a coach. If you think about all those successful athletes, they all have a coach. They do what the coach asks them to do. They also have discipline to get out there and do what's needed when other people are sitting at home or going to the parties. They are in the lab or on the court or on the field doing exactly what they need to do in order to up level everybody else. And so what are you willing to do in order to up level everybody else? But really, this is not about everybody else. This is about yourself. What are you willing to do in order to be better in 2024 that you were too scared to do in 2023? This makes the difference. This is why you got to start working on yourself. You want to be in that relationship. You want to be in that marriage. You want to have more or one child. Now you got to start putting in the work. You got to do the hard stuff. When you think about getting to the next level, there is some sacrifice that is going to have to come with that. That might be sacrificing going out to the club this year. That might be sacrificing hanging out with your friends and family members as much. That might be sacrificing and making sure that you're putting in the face-to-face time with your child or children that you know that you were not doing last year or this year, because we're still in 2023. The point of it is this. In order to get to the next level in your life, you absolutely have to start working on you. That is how essential it is and why you have to start working on yourself. Also, another reason is because each of us have blind spots. Everybody has blind spots in their life. And because you can't see your blind spots, you need somebody there to point them out to you. So now you can say, I never thought about that. Or, dang, I do that. Which is why you need somebody in your life that's going to point these things out to you, because you have blind spots. And we all believe that we're perfect. We all want to point the finger at the other person. It's their fault. It's their fault. Why this thing didn't work out. Why the marriage failed. Why the breakup happened. But sis, you played a part in it yourself. So those blind spots that you cannot see, think about it like this. The complaints that your previous partners had about you, those are your blind spots. Those are the areas that you need to start working on and in. This is exactly what I did in order to become the woman that you see here today. I slowed down. I took the information that my exes was giving to me about why we didn't go to the next level, because I actually did speak with each of them. And I took that information and I started working on the specific areas that they said. And so now I had to build up my skills in order to be better. So when my next relationship came, the areas that I was lacking before, I've already up leveled in those areas. And best believe the test is going to come to see if you have actually really and truly up leveled in those areas. And that's when you know the work that you were practicing is actually working. The last and final thing is accepting what you didn't know. You didn't know the things and why they went down the way that they went down, which is why you have to just accept the fact that you didn't know what you didn't know. But now that you know the information, you do not need to repeat the same information. You do not need to keep learning the same lesson over and over and over again. This is why a lot of people go down that road of attracting the same mate over and over again, but they kind of look a little different, but they dress the same. They have the same mannerisms, the same behaviors, the same treatment, but it's a different person. It's because they have not learned the lesson. So you have to accept the things that you did not know. Now that you know them, what are you willing to do to not repeat those things? And now that you know why it's so essential to get started, click this video right here in order to go deeper on the how and where to get started on your journey.